Hey J-Rock fans, Court here with Project Licks and another video review. This time I'm going to review two releases, partly because it's been so long since I've done one of these, so I thought I owed you one. Secondly, because I was so excited about both of these releases that I just really couldn't decide which one to do, so I'm going to do both of them. Oh well. The first one is DESTRIEB by Jiluka, which came out on August 5th, and also Happy Unbirthday from D, which came out September 16th. Both of these bands I really love. We're going to start off with Jiluka first. This is DESTRIEB. I'm sorry about the reflection. This released on August 5th. This is their second mini album. This is a fairly new band. They released their first single in February of this year, so they've been around for less than a year. This is a serious heavy rock album. I love this so much. I am loving the representation for metalcore music that's happening in Visual K right now. It makes me really happy. So it starts off with the S.E. Krishna and runs right into the first track, Twisted Pain. Now this is a really just a straight up heavy metal song. Such a fun song. Got really amazing guitar work happening in this track. You can go find the video on their official YouTube channel and check it out. It's really just a top-notch song. We've got those great guitar solos, a nice melodic chorus, really heavy crunchy guitar riffs in the verses. It's just a great all-around song. That one leads right into the second track, Zone, which is probably one of the heavier tracks on the album. It's a total screamer. You hear Rico use that death voice and just really show it off. It's a really strong, powerful song. The next one is Parasite. This one is kind of characterized by a really catchy melodic chorus. And also, I want to talk about the pairing of the rhythm guitar with the drum line. Usually we're seeing more of a bass drum pairing. This band we're seeing more of a rhythm guitar drum pairing, and they just like hammer out these gunshot rhythms. You know, the guitar riff matched by the drum riff, and they just really complement each other very well. This one flows right into probably the most electronic sounding track on the album is Raison d'être, so the fifth track. It starts off with some really electronically affected vocals, which is usually not my thing. But this one, you know, it's alright. They don't overdo it, so I'm okay. I won't get mad. But this one is probably, if they were on the radio in my country, this would be like the radio single. It kind of sounds a little bit like Everything. It's, you know, the more catchy one. It's the one you're going to be singing along to. It's the one you'd listen to in your car in heavy traffic. You know, not a whole lot of super interesting things going on in this track, but it is probably the most easily accessible, most listenable track on the album, and right smack in the middle. So it kind of, it's good placement for it if you're going to put it on there. The next track is Sacrifice. This one is probably the most epic sounding track, I suppose you would say, on the album. It's also the longest track at about 5.5 minutes. You've got that guitar drum combo again, just really hammering it home on this track. And Rico showing off this rock opera voice that he has, which is really nice to see the versatility, going from that, you know, growling death voice to this really powerful, strong singing voice. Probably one of my favorite tracks on the album, to be absolutely honest, just based on all of those things. The final track is Primal Fear. This is probably ranks up there with Zone as the heaviest track on the album, and this one actually brings all of the elements of all of the previous songs that I've already mentioned, kind of brings them all together. You've got the growling death voice vocals along with the melodic vocals. You've got all those really nice guitar solos that they've shown us throughout the album so far. It's a really good wrap-up track for this particular album. It really kind of shows off the whole package of what this band can do. The album as a whole, I really enjoy. It's a very fast-paced album. You know, most of the tracks on there average out about 3.5 minutes, so at 7 tracks, it's a pretty short little mini album. The only thing that I would really like to see in future releases is a little more variety on the song structure. A lot of these songs, well, pretty much all of these songs, have very similar structure, and so I really don't want to see them fall into that trap of everything kind of sounding the same. This is a very new band, so I'm not going to hold it against them at this point. I just really hope to see them kind of mix it up a little bit more in the future, because I think they have a lot of potential. If you are into bands like Nocturnal Bloodlust and Measure and some of those really, you know, the heavier bands that are out there on the, you know, visual kei J-rock scene, you will definitely enjoy this band. I am super excited about them. I'm definitely going to be keeping a very close eye on them in the future. So final verdict on this one for sure is go get it. They have a new single coming out November 4th. This will be their second single called UVS. So if you're looking for kind of an intro into the band, that would be probably a good one to pick up if you're not quite ready to make the mini album commitment. Next release I'd like to talk about is Happy Unbirthday by D. Yes, I totally geeked out and bought all 4 versions. Look at all the D. Wow. This is their first release since they came back from hiatus about the end of last year. You may remember they took some time off so that Asagi could get treatment for, he suffers from severe TMJ, so he had to stop and kind of take a break to get treatment for that. This is the first release since their return, and I was just so excited to hear this. Whenever I saw they were releasing a new album, I about went through the roof. It was the best thing ever. And Happy Unbirthday, if you are familiar with D at all, you know they can kind of range between, you know, these really sort of dark, kind of epic, operatic type songs. They can go from that to just really super silly. This is really super silly. As you can tell, we've got an Alice in Wonderland thing going on with this. I don't know if you can see with the reflection. There's that one with Asagi as White Rabbit. So your A-side track, of course, is Happy Unbirthday. Super campy. Just completely silly and fun and goofy. And you've got things like slide whistles and, you know, crowd vocals and choreographed dancing. If you've seen the PV for it, I'm pretty sure it's up on YouTube already. You've seen just like, it's completely off the wall. And of course, everything Alice in Wonderland with the cakes and the eat me and the everything. It's super cute. So that's pretty much what you're gonna get with Happy Unbirthday. Like, it's just completely off the wall, silly, high energy. A lot of fun, and of course there's that high level of musicality you can always expect from D. You've got the really nice guitar solos and the, you know, amazing drumming and all of the great things that you know are going to be there. The second track on this single, which is available on the A, B, and C types, is Funny Bunny. This one opens up with organs and grinding guitars, and it starts off and you think it's going to go back into that sort of, you know, epic metal vein that we know for D, and then it just kind of goes like that. It goes silly again. It's also a lot of fun. It definitely has a more metal feel at the top of the song. You've got Asagi using his death voice, which is always a little entertaining because yeah, he shouldn't do that. But it, like I said, it kind of goes off takes a left turn somewhere in the middle, and we end up back in that campy, cartoony kind of feel that goes along with the A-side track. The differing tracks on the subsequent versions are the third track. The B-type, the third track on the B-type is Lepidoptera. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Just go with it. This one starts off, it reminds me of almost like a European traditional song, almost kind of like polka feel. And then kind of, it's a tough one to describe. It is very, yeah, I don't know. It is really tough to describe, but it is a fun song. Kind of, again, goes along with the more lighthearted feel of the rest of the album. This one is a little bit more serious, I guess. I don't know. It's hard. It's a very unusual song, and it definitely has a very epic break right in the middle that feels very big and operatic, and then it goes back into, you know, that kind of bouncy, kind of silly thing again. I don't know. The third track on the C-type is probably my favorite one. It's Tokakuni no Kani. This is my favorite track of all of the tracks available on across the different versions. This one, you really get to see Asagi's rock opera voice, which is really what he's known for and what he does very, very well. This one, it moves a little bit away from the camp and back to the heavy metal sound that we are used to with this band. And you've got those killer guitar solos and some really amazing bass work, and it's just really a great all-around song. It really, it's definitely my favorite track on amongst the group. The D-type is pretty much, it's just Happy Unbirthday, and it has a remixed version of Happy Unbirthday, which is really just a more acoustic sounding version. There's really not a whole lot to get too super excited about on that one. So if you are going to grab only one type, I would really suggest getting the C-type, which is this one that comes with Happy Unbirthday, Funny Bunny, and Tokakuni no Kani. This is really the one right here. It has everything that you love about D. It has the silly, it has the epic, it has the somewhere in between. It's a ton of fun. I really, this is the one, guys. This is the one. If you're not going to get all four of them like I did because I'm a great big dork, this one. And that's a wrap. So I will have all of the pertinent links down below, including purchase links where you can pick up both of these albums, links to their YouTube channels where you can see videos and music clips pertaining to these albums. And there's also a link to the blog down there. You can go and check that out as well. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions on what I should review next, leave that in the comments down below, and we will see you next time. Bye.